Unfortunately, yet again, we're here to talk about more injuries as injuries continue to pile up for the Chicago Bears. This time, Andrew Billings and Kevin Byard go down. We're going to talk about all and more right after this.
Chicago Bears Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bears news and content.
What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. Me and Bobby in the building today. Unfortunately, not a good update, man. Let's start with Andrew Billings, man. Andrew Billings did not practice today. He does go down with an injury. And this is mainly right now a big thing because I don't know if you saw the article that came out earlier today that Javon Dexter and Andrew Billings are winning. They have pass rushing rates that are leading defensive tackles in the NFL. It's crazy to see. Like, I knew they were good, but this good that they've been has been crazy. So now you get Andrew Billings to go down with injury at a time where this defensive line is rocking and rolling. Now, it's not for sure that he's been ruled out for Sunday quite yet, but it does have some questions. How you feeling about this injury, Bobby?
To Billings specifically, I think it's definitely one of those things to where it's gonna hurt the Chicago Bears a little bit. Right now, I think that the narrative that's out about the Chicago Bears that hey, if we hit them and we get a little ahead, there might be some type of drop off from the defense, and I believe that's kind of could be said of just about every defense. If you allow other teams to catch leads, it's a little bit more harder. To pin your ears back and go after the opposing team. Me personally, I love what Billings has been doing this season, especially with the new move thing that he been trying to get people to jump off sides with and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And just being a big body in places where they need him. We're gonna wait and see what happens. Hopefully it's just a little tightness in there, nothing too serious. Because we need to get a dub, bro.
Yeah,
we need to get a dub.
And just to kind of put this in, I may dive deeper into these analytics on tomorrow's daily episode, but Andrew Billings right now is the NFL's third best at the pass rush run rate amongst defensive tackles. And Javon Dexter is sixth. When I say that we have had the best defensive tackle combo in the league, that's not hyperbole. That's legitimately real. Bro, they're both on pace right now. Now, again, pace is a hard thing to dictate in the NFL, but pace, per the advanced analytics, they're both on pace for 11 sacks this year.
Sheesh.
Do you know what that would look like to get that from defensive tackles in the NFL?
That's Pro Bowl level right there. Because I think last year, the defensive tackle from Baltimore, I can't remember his name right now for some reason, Mbake or something like that. Y'all correct me in the chat. He had 14. So you telling me Javon Dexter in year 2, a breakout season, what it would be, can go to get 11? Hey, I hope he can eclipse it. So we just got to wait to see. As far as Billings, hey, just take your time, big fella. But if not, this is why we paid DeMarcus Walker. This is why we love the versatility of DeMarcus Walker. This is why we kept Dominique Robinson around. So because we've seen some type of improvement with him playing inside. So if he's not able to go, it's next man up. They desperately need a win. And we're going to see what type of mentality these guys come in on Sunday with, especially with being at home.
That's a big fact. And for those asking what, it's listed as a knee injury. He was limited on Wednesday. He did not play today. But this adds to an ongoing list of injuries on our defensive line. Darrell Taylor hasn't played. He's out with a knee injury and illness as well, right? We already know how productive he's been on that defensive line. So, like, Zach Pickens has been down all season, so that just is what it is there. Montez Sweat was a full participant today after being limited on Wednesday, so that's a sign in the right direction, thank God there. But Andrew Billings and Javon Dexter are turning into such a good tag team. But I love what you said there. Having DeMarcus Walker and his versatility there, especially how he adds to the pass rush when he's lined up as a defensive tackle, that's going to open up some things for this team as well. And, this could be get to Daniel Hardy or Booker getting some added burn there on the edge. So,
yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Hey, Daniel Hardy, he fresh. He fresh, ready to go. I know he spent some time on special teams, but we seen him have a motor and be a man amongst boys during the preseason. It is preseason, but I say, hey, with them fresh legs and a lot of guys banged up in the early weeks of the NFL, especially with the Rams coming up on Sunday, Hey, this is why you keep so many defensive linemen, and then you're keeping around the guys that can provide you with some versatility. Demarcus Walker seems fine, so hey, you should be good to go as long as you can trust your young guy in Booker. Maybe get a little run with Daniel Hardy and see what happens, or who can return or hopefully play for Sunday.
And the thing that makes me a little concerned, again, we'll see. It could be nothing. Bears did sign Travis Bell today, the defensive tackle there, to come back to the team. And when Matt Eberflus talked about him, it seemed like Matt Eberflus almost expects him to play. So we'll see what that could mean. But, we'll see what comes down there. The next one, of course, is Kevin Byard, who has a back injury. He had nothing going on with him Wednesday in practice. He did not play today. How you feeling about Kevin Byard?
Hey, back injuries are tricky, bro. One time, like it can flare up, you'll be good the next day, but then the day after that, she can flare right back up again. So I think it's just a tricky one. When it comes to Kevin Byard, and he's been having a decent season so far. Hopefully, he can go ahead and get a little bit more out of him. But I love what I've been seeing thus far. But then I still call up to the forefront. Next man up, Elijah Hicks. You've been around this organization. You know the system. You've been around for a while now. Hey, and I ain't gonna lie. Jonathan Owens, like somebody mentioned in the chat, that's a very intriguing player. That mug don't care. He hit people. Yeah, he hit. So put the next guy up in there who you can believe can hold it down. And as long as the Bears take care of business, that's all that should matter.
Yeah, it should be all that matters, right? Is like you find a way, the next man up mentality, and hopefully, you never know. These guys could be ready to go. We're here to give the update per the information that we have now. Of course, we'll be updating as new information comes out, but these are two guys who are part of two very important groups. The Bear, I talked about on today's daily episode, the Bears pass rush has been legit. Like we're talking about night and day from what it was last season. And so losing guys there, we know our secondary is one of our most deep positions as well, but not necessarily at the safety. We're deep at cornerback, not necessarily at safety. We got some talent there that I think can step in for one game. We've seen it happen before, but it just sucks that as we're going to a game where you want things to start rocking and rolling, you want us to try to start getting some rhythm, that leading into that, we're starting to get the injuries to pile up a little bit for the Bears.
For sure. So Leanne, when they say that it's limited, it means that the person participated in practice, but it more so might be like individual drills or a walkthrough type of thing. It won't be like the full, hey, this is what we're gonna run, and then you got them running plays and things like that. So it's they are present, but it is in a more limited role. But hey, I'm anxious to see. I mean, Matt Eberflus has shown, and his coaching staff for the most part, one thing they know how to do is coach defensive backs. Hey, Jalen Johnson just had a day for him last week. Yeah. And Terrell Smith, Josh Blackwell, guys that ain't even on the team anymore. Reddy Stewart, these guys that excel pretty fast. So it seems like these guys, at least Matt Eberflus for the most part, know how to coach these guys up. So whoever comes in and fill the role, I ain't too concerned about it, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, you got it. Like Jonathan Owens is there. You signed him for a reason. He's played okay, right? Not nothing that's necessarily been eye popping, but Jonathan Owens could step in there. You still got Elijah Hicks, who stepped up before for us prior. So the Bears have depth there. And the scheme, like I mean, one thing that when you have continuity, I know that's a negative word for us in Chicago because the Bulls ruined it. But like one of the point of having continuity in certain areas is that you can weather that storm a little bit more. Now, if these guys end up missing multiple weeks, that's where it could definitely. But for a game, you expect somebody to be able to step up, pick up the baton, and go out and execute.
That's what you expect. And I think right now, with them, especially with the coaching staff coming out and saying that we're trying to hold ourselves accountable, it starts with us. And I respect it. You don't really hear too many coaches around the league, and especially last year with Luke Getsy, coaches say, hey, it's on me. I got to be better. And as far as this early in the season, only been 3 weeks. So you love to hear it. And hey, Mercedes Lewis said it the best. No one gives a damn. Let's go to work. We got guys that ain't got a lot of time in here. We trying to win some football games and put ourselves in a great position. And right now, hey, the Chicago Bears, me personally, Haize, they should be going into this game, you know what I'm saying, feeling decent about some things that happen in the game, but you should be pissed off that you ain't win the game. Especially when DJ Moore came to the podium and said we should have won that game. Cole Kmet is on his podcast saying we should have won that game. Okay, how ticked off are you? And how much pride do you have within yourself to now say, we at the crib now? You at home.
Yeah.
Yet they got to touch up on a lot of stuff and put on a better performance, especially for that home crowd. And hopefully everybody feeling good while everybody yelling. And then hopefully it's a nice breezy day at Soldier Field.
That's a fact. You started off your season at home, and while you did get a win against the Tennessee Titans, you saw that home crowd have such excitement when Caleb got into the game for the first time, and that excitement went down as that offense was not having success. Come back out here, put on for the home crowd. You got 3 games at home now, leading it. Well, no, because technically it's a home game against Jacksonville, but we're overseas.
Early
So you got,
as hell.
yeah,
Post game gonna be at 8 a.m. y'all.
Bro,
Eastern.
that's crazy.
Pre-game at me.
Crazy. Yeah, the pregame is gonna be we literally are waking up and getting right the fuck to it, bro. That's literally what we're doing. But so it is an exciting time. Make no mistake about it. But the Bears got to get on, man. We got 2 games straight at home. Let's get this done. Let's get these victories in. And I think if you can go into that bye week at 500, I'm confident in that. We started off the season 0-4. If you can start off this season 3-3 at the minimum, I feel pretty confident in that a little bit.
Yeah, and I think we'll feel more better if it look all right. Yeah. We ain't gotta look good because right now we look like a pile of poo. But if it looks all right, even in some of those losses, and you don't say, hey, the offensive line got absolutely whooped again, or Caleb made this many mistakes, or the defense didn't stop this, or this person didn't do that. Now, if you can say, hey, they just in the closing moments of the game, they just finished the game. You can live with something like that. What you can't live with is your offensive line getting whooped. Your running backs not picking up yards at all. Your wide receivers not catching, or your defense not being the defense that we know that they can be. So I'm with you 100%. If you can go into the bye week at 3-3, it's game on after that.
Yeah. I mean, and hopefully at that point as well, Ryan Bates will be eligible to come back, so we get some added depth on that offensive line. So there's a lot of things that by that bye week that Ryan Poles and everybody needs to be evaluating, but we need to overall be making steps in the right direction to improve between here and the bye week. And if we can do that, I feel pretty confident. And Clifton in here, hey, listen, Clifton ready to put cases on everybody. He said if the Bears don't beat the Rams, the entire coaching staff needs to be fired. Jeez.
It's gonna be a rough Sunday if they don't win. I'll tell you that.
That's a fact. But yeah, I got nothing left, brother. You got anything, man?
Nah, I talked about Mercedes Lewis comments and Shane Waldron. Big shout out to him. But hold on. Haize, my bad. I find it crazy that the man sat down with his quote unquote leadership team. I was surprised. And honestly, I was happy to hear it. Oh, you sat down with your leadership team and it seemed like Mercedes Lewis ain't holding back from nothing.
I mean, what does he have? He's a veteran in this league. What are you going to do? Cut him? Like, I mean, right. If you cut him, he can go find another team tomorrow. Like right. So and that's the importance of having vets, even on the team where you're not necessarily expecting Mercedes Lewis to make or break your season, but you want him to be able to advocate. Because while people like Caleb, who is on that leadership committee, may not feel, hey, well, I don't know, I need to play the politics here. Mercedes Lewis don't give a fuck about none of that, bro.
For sure.
So you need people who like we talked about it before. Like, you got to have people who not only willing to hold the players and each other and themselves accountable. You got to have people that aren't afraid to tell the coach, that Ryan Poles, whatever, exactly how it is. You need that.
Yeah, and I respect it too. We all grown. Well, they all grown men. Hey, if you got something to say, you say it. Don't sit around here and pussyfoot around the situation. I think that you can get further down the road if you just keep it a buck with who you're working with and with your peers, and let them know this is what I like, this is what I don't like. And I got to show much respect to the leaders of the squad. Even Caleb Williams as a rookie, pretty much saying, hey, I got to communicate better and let them know what I like and don't like. That I believe that's one of the key things to it. Haize, I do have a question for you, my brother, because I'm looking at it. You seen the Twitter post with Shane Waldron. You got the paper and that bitch shaking like Cardi B. That bitch shaking like Cardi B. Do you think after seeing 3 weeks that Shane Waldron should be moving to the box upstairs, get away from Eberflus, get in his own zone, then you get to see the entire field, or do you think that's solely based on preference of what Shane Waldron wants to do?
I mean, if that is, I do think you want to have it preference, because some coaches need to be right up there to see it up close and personal. Like, there's a little bit of disconnect to me when you're in the box. I know for me, I can only speak for me. So maybe to try it though, because if it helps you kind of see and survey the whole field and maybe get a better look on what you're calling out there. But to me, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, Bobby. That seems like something you would do for a first-time offensive coordinator. And Shane Waldron's the damn
For
vet.
sure. Understood. It's because like I look at they played the Monday night, the Buffalo Bills, and this man Joe Brady, he's sitting in the box for Josh Allen. It is Josh Allen. We know how great he is, but I'm just saying the man chilling. They putting up all these points. He calling the play, leaning back. He seemed a little bit more comfortable. That's why I was asking it.
I mean, maybe he does need to be a little bit more
confident in himself.
But but this is Chicago, because if I tell you what, he needs to wait till the offense starts looking better consistently to do that. Because if he goes in that box and the Bears offense looks like trash, all the Chicago people in media are gonna be like, Shane Waldron's a fucking coward. He went up in the box so he can hide. He's scared of the smoke. You know how Chicagoans are, bro.
You right, and that's gonna be something that probably gets said in post game after a loss. You went upstairs for no reason. Bring your ass back down.
Bring your old bitch ass back down here on the field, my boy. Yeah,
you got a great point right there. I'm just trying to get my man. I mean, like I said, bro, he looked a lot more comfortable in his third game. But hey, we got to make sure you own your P's and Q's. You done this before. You ain't new to this.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it that he said that the team. He said before, I think it was after week 2, that the team is still trying to find its rhythm. That getting into a rhythm as a full offense is important for you to really kind of maximize on everybody. But you also can't get into rhythm when you're making dumbass play calls. Like, exactly. I'm sorry. And not every play call that Shane Waldron has made has been horrible. I know I typically talk about it like that because I'm pissed off. But I would say there are no less than about 3 or 4 play calls where I literally can't even try to make an argument for why that play call was called. Some other ones I could say, hey, it didn't work, but maybe he was looking at it like this. But I'm talking about 3 or 4 play calls as a veteran offensive coordinator that I'm just looking at and saying, there's no way. Like Madden wouldn't have even told you to run that.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you. That damn speed option is on the same level of egregious as the screenplay versus Tampa Bay. The third time.
Yeah, the third time, bro. Like, it was just like, and like it, I always make that joke with Billy Donovan. It's like, hey, Billy Donovan does stupid shit because he's like, hey, they won't think if we did that. It was almost like Shane Waldron tried to be too smart. Like, what they won't expect is a speed option. You know why they wouldn't expect the speed option, my boys? Because it's the stupidest fucking call you could have called in that situation.
Hey, it was. Haize, I've like, after going back and just having days to think about it, I feel like, why you ain't give Caleb a chance to make a play? I mean, this is why you draft the number 1 overall pick and say and impose. Like, I know Shane Waldron's his own man, but Ryan Poles said we drafted him because we can win. How did he say it? In spite of how is it? We can win because of him instead of in spite of him. I'm fucking up the whole thing, but I hope y'all catch my drift. But you don't draft Caleb Williams number 1 overall and say that you believe in his talents just to say, he go full run plays. At least I'm starting to look at that a little bit.
Yeah.
You think that's a good way to look at that?
Yeah, I agree. And here's what I'll say too, though. I think I know this isn't going to be popular with a lot of people, and this is just me because I feel like you have to get going on the ground. I think that Shane Waldron needs some design run plays for Caleb Williams. I'm not saying a lot. I'm not saying you need to go to him every game, but I think that at this point, you may need to start looking at that as well if you need to get your running game going a little bit more.
I think it's like me. I wouldn't want him running so much, but to your point, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
If it's 3rd and 3, we're gonna run this RPO. If that defensive end sinks, go get the first down. Just make sure you slide. Now, we're not gonna say 1st and 10, go get us 10, but
exactly.
3rd down,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So to that point, I agree with you. Like, and that's one thing I was thinking to myself, like, bro, why? I understand Caleb wants to be the passer first, but don't forget about your athleticism as well, because on some of these plays to where he's picking up sacks, not only because of the offensive line, but because of himself, just go pick up a couple yards and fight for the next play, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. I don't you don't want Caleb Williams to be a runner. You don't want that to happen. That's not, and like you said, Caleb Williams is a pass first quarterback that can make plays with his leg if a play breaks down. The problem, the reason why I say that is that we're seeing a lot of fucking plays break down early into the play. So
Bruh.
maybe you could take advantage of that and try to work in some design, like you said, in very specific scenarios. Like
Yeah.
maybe if we're between these two spots on the field, it's third and short. We got that in our toolbox, right? Everything's about
Right.
just having things in your toolbox. Everything that's in your toolbox, you don't use very. I got a blowtorch in my toolbox.
Bro.
I ain't used that bitch in probably 3 years. But guess what? If I need to blowtorch some shit, it's there, right? It's there.
Bring it all down, bro.
Listen, I got to be very particular because where I live, if a black man's walking around with a blowtorch, I may have to call you to come bail me out, bro. You 3 hours from me. You the closest to me. I may have to get you to come bail me out. But yeah, you just want to. Right now, the Bears have no bag, and we haven't gotten to the point where we've had success to have a bag. I need to start seeing some development of that. Roshan could help that. Getting Keenan Allen is definitely going to help that. The us going to Cole Kmet more has definitely started helping those. So we started seeing signs of things. You just need to figure out the right mix of it to bring it all together. That's it.
I agree with you. Just the last point, just to add on, I think they need to really, really focus on execution on first down. I don't believe that some guys understand that first down don't mean we got to get the first right now, but don't hurt the squad by running backwards or drawing a false start penalty or a holding call, things like that. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. That's why I think there is some type of validity when it comes to the chemistry of the offense, but it still ain't no excuses. I'm gonna make that clear.
Yeah, that's it. There's no excuses, none. And we'll see what they got in store for us from week 4. We'll see who'll be out on the field. Bob, before we go, any last thoughts, brother?
Hey, we appreciate y'all. It's definitely been a week. Bears lost. I don't think I'm getting invited to a tailgate again, but it's okay because I don't even want to be there. Because if we lose during the tailgate, I'm ready to flip a table. But after that, I show much love on every platform I'm on. Shout out to D Rose, man. One last time, big dog. Appreciate you.
Speaking of, I know I just said we about to get up out of here. Can I tell you the time I got kicked out of a tailgate in St. Louis?
Let's hear it, bro.
So for those that don't know, I lived in St. Louis for a very, very long time. And the Bears played the Rams. I can't even remember what year this was. I think it was like 2013, 15, something like that. And I was at a tailgate, and all Rams fans. I'm the only Bears fans. I'm chilling. I got my Walter Payton jersey on. I'm feeling good, right? Somebody started an argument and said that Steven Jackson was a better running back than Walter Payton.
Huh?
And I literally looked at them and I said, "You're stupid." And see, this is why when people be like, "Does Haize really talk that much shit in person?" If need be, yes. So I was like, "Bro, I'm not finna argue." I was like, "You just want to argue." I'm like, "You're saying that Steven Jackson is better running back than Walter Payton, sweetness?" He said, with a straight face, "I'm telling you right now, there's no way Walter Payton couldn't lace up the cleats." I said, "Bro." I said, "This is why you ain't got no fucking woman, bro, because you're stupid. Like, you just
gotta love
you ain't got, like, you're stupid, bro. Like, I'm not having a football conversation with an idiot." So the dude got a little antsy, right? Keep in mind, I'm 5'10". This nigga was about 6'2". I don't give no shit. I said, "You're stupid. I'm not finna have this conversation with you. I'm enjoying my rib right now. I ain't got time for stupidity." He got up again, 5'10", 6'2". I looked at him. He said, "All right." I said, "Why are you walking up on me?" He said, "Why you got to call me stupid?" I said, "Your opinion called you stupid. I just spoke on it." So then he walks up on me and I just mushed his ass in the face. I got kicked out.
It be like that sometimes, bro.
Like, yeah.
I removed myself from the scene this past Sunday because I literally had an elder who had to be like 50, 60 tell me that defense don't matter. I said, "All right, sir, you have a nice day." I'm leaving. I said, "All right, Unc." He's standing right here. My uncle right here. "All right, Unc, I'm about to go." I'm not even about to do this right now.
See,
I'm not doing it.
Now me in my older age, that was still mid-20s Haize. I was ready to fight at all points in time then. I'm 37 years old. I ain't got time to be fight. If need be, I will. Make no mistake about it. I fight and I fight good. But need be, I will exit from the situation.
Yeah,
back then, anybody could get the smoke. So when he stood up, I had already prepared, like, oh, I'm about to throw these hands. And he walked up on me, and I real quick, bro, right in the nose, bro. His head went back real quick, and I got kicked out. So,
it be like that sometimes, but it's okay. You got the fist pump on your way out.
yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But thank you guys for tuning in, man. We love you guys so much, man. You guys can follow us at Shy Bear Central. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoBearCentral@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're the #1 spot for everything Chicago Bears related. We out this bitch.